The desert night was cold, the Afghan mountains cutting shadows against a star-choked sky. Captain Darius Holt and his Special Forces team had been dispatched to investigate a series of massacres in remote villages, entire families drained of blood, livestock shredded as if by blades. Locals whispered of a king of shadows. Intel called it nonsense. Holt's men knew better. They breached the ruins of an abandoned fortress, NVGs cutting through the dark. The stench of rot clung to every surface. Then the air shifted, too still, too heavy. Sergeant Miller muttered, "Feels like we're being hunted." The first strike was silent. Private Khan disappeared into the dark with a scream. When they found him, his body was hanging upside down from the ceiling, throat torn out, ribs split open like butchered meat. Blood dripped onto the sand floor. "Contact!" shouted Ramirez. The thing stepped into view, tall, pale, armored in shadows, its eyes burning crimson. Fangs glistened, long as knives. Bullets tore through the chamber. Dust filled the air. The vampire moved faster than their scopes could track, ripping Private Lee in half, spilling his guts across the sand. Ramirez went next, his neck twisted backward with a single swipe. Holt bellowed for retreat, but the king vampire herded them deeper into the ruins, laughing, a guttural sound that vibrated through the walls. Miller shoved a grenade into its chest. It exploded, spraying gore, but as the smoke cleared, the monster stood, half its face shredded yet grinning. Only 3 men remained, Holt, Miller, and Doc Hayes. Miller charged, blade drawn. The vampire caught him mid-strike and drove its clawed hand through his chest, ripping his heart out in a geyser of blood. "Run!" Hayes cried, pulling Holt toward a collapsed shrine. They stumbled into an altar littered with bones. Among them lay a rusted spear tipped with silver. Hayes didn't hesitate. He lunged, shoving the relic into the vampire's gut. The beast shrieked, smoke pouring from the wound. But the victory cost him. Its claws gutted Hayes, spilling him across the altar as the creature roared. Holt seized the spear, driven by fury. With a scream, he rammed it upward, piercing the monster's chest and into its heart. The vampire thrashed, claws slicing Holt's side open, but the silver burned through. Flames erupted from its body, shadows dissolving like mist. With one final wail, the king vampire disintegrated into ash, coating Holt in soot and blood. Dawn broke over the desert as Holt staggered from the ruins alone, dragging the broken spear. Command would ask what happened. He'd tell them the truth. Monsters were real, and they bled.